Why did you join the military?
Ever since I was 13, I started looking at brochures and of all the different branches, Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, and I just enjoy what they do as far as getting out, adventuring, and getting to see the world. And so when I turned 17, my mom signed the papers and I joined the Army National Guard.
How long have you served in the military?
I've been in the National Guard for 17 and a half years. 8 of it spent active.
Do you recall your first days of service?
Not a whole lot. About the only thing I remember my flight over to Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then we had 6 days of reception. Reception is kind of where we get our uniforms and whatnot, and then from there you go into boot camp. I do remember at boot camp we had 3 duffel bags of all of our stuff, and we had to pack of all of our civilian attire that we brought with us into one duffel bag, and then we had to lock the duffel bag back, and I could not get my lock to go into the little clasp on the duffel bag. I had 2 drill sergeants come over there just yelling loud as they could. I'm sitting there shaking, sweating. Finally, we bent the clasp and I was finally able to lock it.
What was your first thought when you were told you were being deployed?
Well, I've been deployed 3 times. First time, we kind of got wind that we were going to be deployed, but I actually got activated for deployment on my 21st birthday. We knew we were going to Iraq, which was pretty scary at the moment, but I knew we had trained up well, and I knew the guys I would be working with and was comfortable with them, so I wasn't really too worried. Second deployment wasn't as bad because we knew we were going back to Iraq and stuff had settled down, whatnot. And then this last one, I just got back from the Horn of Africa, and once again, being the 3rd deployment, I primarily try to just coach and mentor the new guys within our unit that this was their first deployment, as far as what to tell their families, how to prepare for the deployment and whatnot.
How did you get through it?
Well, the first one was pretty chaotic. Pretty much getting mortared every day, around the clock, different times. It's crazy. You actually get used to being shot at and things blowing up around you. Especially if you could hear the whistle of the mortar, then you knew you were okay because it was going over you. But just the camaraderie, the friendships of the people to the left and right of you, just that bond you get to form with them, and as long as you know they got your back and you have their back, it makes it a lot better.
How long were you deployed?
My first deployment was 382 days. We were actually the first element within our brigade into Baghdad, and the last one was out. The second one was only 9 months overseas, in country, and this last one in the Horn of Africa was 9 months overseas.
What was your first day like after you were deployed?
Alright, so we rolled into Baghdad. We got in about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We went around the west side, so it was actually pretty quiet for us when we come in. But we went to Taji, which is just north of Baghdad, And for the first week, we actually had to sleep in the motor pool because there was nowhere for us to stay. And I remember the first night, the bumper of the Humvee can come down. And I put that down, put my poncho liner above it, and just keep the lights out. And then next thing I know, mortars start hitting the compound. And as soon as I heard the first one, I jumped up and hit my head on the bumper of the Humvee. That's a pretty good night. So that was my first night.
Did you ever get sent any care packages?
Yeah, my mom and dad and grandma, they pretty good at sending them first couple of deployments, and then my wife and kids on this last one.
How did getting sent packages affect your day?
Oh, it brightened up anytime we got packages. First deployment, we didn't really have communications, back home like we do today. So we were still using actual phones and phone cards. So we didn't talk as much back home. So whenever we got a package, it was a lot more of a surprise of, what I was getting. I remember one of the best ones was my dad sent me a box full of homemade cookies, and it lasted a whole about 40 minutes before they were all gone within our operations center. This last one, my wife was pretty adamant about making sure was always up on all my goodies, canned goods, raviolis, snacks, honey buns, whatnot. Some of the things you could get, there at the on base, but it's always nice whenever you open the package and having it sent from home, knowing that the ones back home, care enough to purchase it, and plus spend a little more just to send it to you. And anytime we get, abundance of stuff, I always spread it around with my guys, make sure everybody gets a little piece of home.